We're recording now.
Okay, so you kind of got to where you said you're very passionate about being a mom, and when you went into it, you weren't sure how you were going to be, and that's when it cut off.
Yeah, because everybody kind of, like, being a first-time mom, you never know how you're gonna be, right? Like, are you gonna have a good relationship with them? Are you gonna enjoy what you do? Because I mean, you have to wake up to them every single day, right? So, but for
Yeah,
myself, I truly love it. Like, absolutely love it.
yeah,
And that,
yeah. And we're in kind of a different era of having kids because my kids are grown. And but you know what? Even though I struggled in parts of their lives, they turned out to be such great kids. Like truly, they did. So I feel really proud of myself that
oh
I
yeah,
was able to you know, crank out a couple kids, even though there was like a divorce in there, and they were, the family was broken up and kind of thing. They still just came out to be just amazing
hmm,
young ladies, and your kids will be the same way. If you take an interest in your kids, and you make sure that they're on the straight. I kept my kids so busy they didn't have a chance to step out of line. They did, but they were reeled in really quick. So
yeah, yeah,
definitely that's a great strength, is to be a parent, and an active parent, and an interested parent,
yeah,
because there's a lot of parents that aren't like that
yeah,
these days for one reason or another, and I won't judge them because I'm not in their shoes,
yeah.
but yeah. So for me, for strengths, I would say that my biggest one is I don't care what people think anymore. Like,
Hmm.
I used to absolutely try and please everybody. I really was worried what people thought of me. This is like probably in my 20s. I really set myself back by being concerned what people were thinking about me and saying about me. And it really was hard to overcome stuff. Like, I wouldn't go out places because I thought, oh, they don't like me, or whatever. And I got to the point, probably when I was like 32 or 33, I had little kids, and I was so done with the high school games,
Yeah.
like just so done with it. And I kind of almost went the full opposite of what I was. I just stopped. Like, if you don't like me, I'm me. This is what it is. So if you don't like it, I don't care. And it almost went too far the other way. Like, it is possible to do that, but it also is very empowering. And, when you realize that you're worthy, and you're okay to be just yourself, it's
Hmm.
so good for you. So
That is so
that's my
awesome.
biggest. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think.
no, that is an awesome one to have for sure.
And there's so many of us that when you're young and you feel that way, and my kids are going through it right now too. And I keep saying, just, if you could only learn from what I went through, and stop caring about it so much, it would be such a load off your shoulders. Like, it truly would be.
Yeah.
But of course, they need to go through that themselves. So
Yeah, and I do find, like, the older that I'm getting, the more I'm able to put that out there and just say, like,
yeah,
it doesn't matter what you think of me. I'm
yeah.
me, and it's your loss if you don't like me for who I
Yeah, and that's when you start really appreciating yourself, when you know that that person has the problem with you and they no longer want to associate with you. That is their loss.
am. Hmm.
You are worth losing. And when you get that, that feeling about yourself that it's their loss, and it's so empowering. It's so incredible. So
Yeah, because I
yeah,
know even in my 20s, I would lose sleep over if I said something that might have offended somebody, or, like, do they not like me because I did X?
yeah,
And it's like, oh my gosh,
yeah,
like, the nights that I stayed, I swear that's why I have most of my gray hair. It's just
yeah,
because I'm worrying so much about what other people would think.
yeah. And it's funny, when I think I've said this before, when you are young and you're trying to impress people, you would think as a woman, and I'm not saying all women, because I'm not saying that women who like women or whatever. I'm good as long as you're loved and you're loving. I'm happy with whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I was never trying. It seemed like I was never trying to impress the boys. I was always trying to impress the girls. where that was all mixed up to me, and I just couldn't, figure it out when I was young that should be working on the other guys, and
Yeah.
it would get out of hand. But I always had lots of friends in school, but I was never popular. Never. I don't know if I'd want to be nowadays.
I
Holy,
know.
I
I
wouldn't
know.
want to be a kid these days, actually.
It's very different now from when we went to school.
Yeah.
It was
There were no
bullying
phones.
on
There were no
social
cell phones.
media.
There was no internet.
Well, and the thing is too, is like at school, if I remember junior high was horrible for me. I had the whole classroom picking on me. But when I went home at the end of the day, I could leave it. Now
Yeah.
you can't leave it by social media. And
No.
that to me is just where yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
That way.
And I can even remember like back when I think 2008 is when I started on Facebook. And I didn't get on Facebook for years after friends were on there. I didn't really know what it was all about. But I can even remember back then interacting differently with people than I would now. Like, I don't know these people.
Yeah.
The people that really like reach out to you and say something nasty, you just got to go, whatever.
Yeah. You just get rid of it, right?
Yeah. And realizing that if somebody has a problem with you, that is their problem.
Yeah.
Don't make it yours.
Yeah. Like
just say, okay, well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but I need to move on and carry on with my life. So, that's a huge thing too. So, yeah. So anyways, like back to what we were saying, I'll let you read the thing about the hockey players and whatnot, or say what.
Oh, and then it's not reading a thing. I was just going to say like something that I guess for your strength is something that's unique to you. So one way of looking at it is like an NHL player is an NHL player because that what makes them unique. That's where their strengths are, and not everybody is able to be an NHL player.
Yeah, there's millions of hockey players, but there's only how many NHL players did you say?
Oh, Tyler would know.
Yeah, I can't remember. It was a small number. It wasn't that many.
Yeah, no, it's not.
So, it's just like NBA players or whatever sport that you are into. Those people have a unique talent that they have made better over the years to become that level of a player kind of thing. So everybody has something that is a unique talent to them.
Yeah. Another person would be like Tony Robbins, right?
Yes, Tony Robbins.
Take it away from sports and look at more mindset, motivational speaker.
Yeah, like you look at Tony Robbins, he is a multi-millionaire, if not a billionaire, I'm sure. He doesn't need the money. He does not need the money. He gets up and goes to those, on stage, where he talks and stuff like that because he's reaching out to people. He's trying to help people because that's what he has an innate talent to do.
And he's passionate about it.
Very passionate. And that's just it. Passion is a huge thing too when it comes to talent.
Yes.
So, yeah, exactly.
And you can tell
there's so many
passionate about it because they get very excited when they talk about it, right? Yeah. Like somebody could make lots of money at something that they do well, but you can tell if they're actually passionate about what they do.
Yes. You can tell just by talking to somebody like especially us, like we run into people who run businesses all the time when we talk to them. You can even tell even by texting, like just messaging, whether or not they have a passion for it or not. Like it's like you have passions for other things other than business in your life, like your kids, your camping and hunting and fishing and whatever it is, running marathons,
your rocks.
My rocks. Yes. I'm a rock hound, just for people who don't know.
But tell us what your passions are. Like we want to hear what gets you going.
Yeah, if anybody has something that they're absolutely, it doesn't have to be business, but it's something that you're so passionate about that it has driven you to become better at it.
Yeah.
Like
it's kind of funny because my dad is very passionate about fishing, and anytime he would bring it up, we'd all be like, oh. But he would just go on for hours because he absolutely loves it.
Yeah. Jeff has like a few things that he talks about like passionately. And I just let him go because trust me, I do all the talking for both of us. So when he gets talking, I'm like, oh yeah, even if it's the most boring thing I've ever heard of, like he really likes it. So, that's part of being in a relationship that you
Yep.
listen.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, there's lots. Like I love like art, like I'm very crafty. I love finding crystals. I love fishing. I love camping. There's so many things. I like gardening and
Oh
all
yeah.
that stuff. So, there's when you're out in your garden and something comes up and you're like,
Oh yeah.
oh, you're so excited and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And lots of people would go, whatever.
Yeah.
Or when you pick that thing that you have grown from a seed and you
Yeah.
pick it and you eat it and you're like, this is what it's all about.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so
Yeah. And
excited.
another one for me is food. I'm a big foodie in the kitchen.
Ah,
If I try a new recipe, and my mom and sisters are the same way too. So we all get together and we'll
yeah.
share our recipes and which ones are good. And yeah.
My mom is an excellent cook, but she's had a hubby that isn't into anything exciting. So when we grew up, it was a very basic meat,
Oh,
potatoes, vegetables, and a stack of bread on the table. That's pretty much what we had every night. So when I first was on my own, and especially after I had a family, I would try and make all these incredible things. Back when I liked cooking, I've done it enough that I don't really.
oh, see,
I
my
like
grandma,
baking.
I get it from my grandma. She loved to try new recipes and pass it on to everybody. And that was the whole thing for family gatherings for us,
Yeah,
getting together and trying new recipes and seeing. And the thing that I really like to do is if somebody comes over to my house and they've never been over, I like to try a new recipe on them.
yeah.
But I let everybody eat their food first before I do because I want to see their facial expression.
See, I'm always the last one eating because all I do is talk.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's done, and I've talked the whole meal, and I still have a plate full of food that's cold. But
But
so
yeah, and like, so talking about that kind of stuff, you can tell people are passionate about it. And yeah, like you had pointed out, you don't need the money, but you still enjoy doing it.
yeah, like something that even if you had made millions of dollars, that you would still do it because it's your passion.
Yeah.
Like
And
that.
it's not work to you.
No,
You don't feel like it's work. It's just something that you really enjoy doing and sharing with everybody else.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you gotta. We want you guys to look at yourselves and see what unique quality and whatnot that you actually have that you could give to the world. That's what, and a lot of people think, oh, I don't have anything that's that great. You do. Like everybody has something. Everybody wants to hear your story, whether you think they do or not,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
And even
So
if you connect with just a handful of people, but that's who you're passionate, like all of you have the same passion,
yes,
like that's a really good feeling, right?
yeah,
Instead of like
exactly.
trying to make it to everybody, because not everybody is going to have the same passion as you.
Yes,
So
exactly.
that's what,
Carmen says, my passion is helping people to see how they are so much more than what they think they are. Oh, that's awesome.
mm-hmm.
And I do that through the art of self-reflection. That's amazing, Carmen, and I can't wait to talk to you on Thursday about all this.
Yes.
And she says, I can help you find yourself without going to India. I have a friend that has to go to India every couple of years that just to find herself. And I'm like, okay, I can go in my backyard and find myself. But we all need work on that. We all need to look in a mirror and understand that we are worthy of having the best life that we can have.
Yes.
And getting past that is something that we all need to work on, all of us. The
Yeah,
self-doubt thing is awful. It's just poison.
it is.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, we have Carmen coming on Thursday, don't we?
Yep.
Yes, I'm so
Yep.
excited.
She has no idea what she's talking about yet, but she's coming on.
Maybe we should do the rapid fire questions with her. No, I want her to talk about what she does. It's going to be
Yes,
awesome.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so where are we? Oh, hey, we got 10 minutes. Usually I'm
Oh,
like, uh-oh.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so something that you want to do too is start posting about your strengths, like
Mhm.
posting about what unique thing that you do and how you've helped people, or you want to help people. Like you say, I do this and my goal is to help as many people realize this. And just like Carmen said in the comments, that's what her passion is.
Mhm.
And you can find a whole very like targeted bunch of people if you start posting that way, that will go, holy, this person's like right on my wavelength and stuff like that. And you can get some incredible relationships from it.
Yeah.
So
You can even do your group, like create
yeah.
a group around that
Yes.
specifically.
Yeah. Groups are like, Facebook groups are such a way for you to share your passion and your strengths and your uniqueness. And then it draws all the people that are like you. I
Yeah.
call them your tribe, in to your group, and they will start finding things because your group will be listed and they'll join, or with your posts that you put out, they'll see that, hey, this person's like right aligned with me, and you join the group kind of thing, and then you can bounce ideas off one another and provide value to people that really need it, like that
Yeah.
are on the same wavelength. So
Speaking of
yeah.
groups, we have one,
Yeah, we do.
which we always forget to tell
I
people.
know.
So any new viewers that we have, we forget to mention. But yeah, if you like what you see, come to the Daily Splash.
Yeah, just come. It's the same as the show. It's the Daily Splash, and just answer a couple questions. They're just basic questions, and it's got all the replays of all the shows that we've done,
Yeah.
because we are on 26 today, and the two of us can still not believe that we've actually done 26. And then we put our word of the day in, and we would love for other people to post stuff in there too. Like if you
Yeah.
feel like there's something you want to share away. Like we'd
Yeah.
love to see that in there.
Yeah.
There's not very many members, but it's because we haven't been working on trying to get more.
No,
Um,
we're just excited to
yeah,
get this
so
going, so we just leave it at that, right?
I know, and I keep forgetting. Like I just like, oh yeah, we do have a group kind of thing, but yeah, because we try and run like the show. We had to have a place to put the show, so we thought, well, I'll just start another group. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so but we love if people have like inspirational things, and like we kind of have the Monday motivation, Tuesdays business tips, Wednesdays money tips. Usually we have an interview. We won't always have an interview on Thursday, but usually we have an interview, and then Fridays fun days. So if you follow along whatever day and you have something you want to post, like if you have
Yeah.
a joke, I love laughing. So if you have
Yeah.
a great joke, put it in there on Fridays, and yeah, feel free to use it. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, for
So,
sure.
oh yeah, I don't know where I'm going here. I feel like I'm just all over the place. Like,
I know. We were saying we're kind of in a funk today. After when you come back after a long weekend and you're kind of like, what's happened?
yeah, taking a
I
couple
can't
of
get
days off.
tuned in again, but
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Just all I'm saying is just go. If you have the chance to make a group and you have this, this desire and this passion to share things with people, make a group about it and start filling it up with value and helpful posts and all that kind of thing, and people will just come to you. Like they'll
Yeah.
start,
Don't keep it to yourself. Share it with
no,
the person.
share these
Yeah.
things. That's what Facebook is about,
Yeah. Exactly.
and relationships and stuff. And I guarantee you might think you have the most boring life that nobody would ever want to hear about, but you don't. There's somebody out there that's living through the same thing you are.
Yeah.
And share. Don't just share all the good, happy rainbows and sunshine. Share, dumping a box of eggs on the floor, because that happens in life. It
Sorry.
totally does.
Yeah, it does. Or
As
noodles,
Lindsay says, yeah, I did that the other day.
dry pasta everywhere. Oh.
Oh, I know. Yeah. It's about making relationships with people, and showing that you yourself have something to share, that you're worthy, and that's a huge thing to get
Okay.
past, is that you're worthy about having everything that you ever desired,
Yeah.
that you're not somebody who doesn't deserve that. So,
Yeah.
and I find that men don't have the same kind of stigma as women do. I don't know why. We
Yeah.
always don't give ourselves enough credit. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So anyways, it'll be interesting. I'm just looking to see who's here. Teresa's watching. Sandra's watching. Julie's watching. Carmen says your group is so fun.
Oh, thank you.
So anyways, we still have time. Well, we need to do a filler here. Our word for today is strength.
Yes.
So, we all have strengths. So let's hear some of yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's so many different things that people have, like, that you're like, oh,
And I find
yeah,
some
I
people
totally couldn't do that, but you can do
yeah.
it, kind of thing.
I find some people have a hard time tooting their own horn too, right?
Yes.
But
Some people know.
some people know, but there are some people that do. But just tell people, like
It's little things. Like I'm like I can problem solve mechanical things. No idea why, but I can usually go, if you do this and you do this and you do this, and then it turns on, kind of thing. I don't know where I got, probably from my dad, but I've never been afraid to try and fix something.
Yeah, I'm a problem solver. Like I love puzzles.
Or work through something of, this isn't working. Okay, well, let's back up and look at something. Like that is some kind of weird talent that I have. Not everybody has that.
So no, and
I don't
even
know.
puzzle pieces, right? Like some people can't stand puzzles, but I love getting in
Me
there and
too.
trying to, and I don't even like to look at the picture. I put the
Oh
picture
no, you're way past me. I have to look at the picture. I'll take a piece and look at the picture until I find where it is, and then I fit it in. My parents, with being self-isolated, they've been doing a nonstop puzzling. So we always have, like, when we get together for Christmas or whatever, we always have a puzzle going.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of our things. So
Yeah.
I love puzzles though. Like I love brain games and stuff. Like I'm like, what are those ones called? Logic problems? Love
Oh,
them. Absolutely love them, because I seem to have that way of figuring things out. And if I do something wrong, I have to rip it up. I can't even like go back and try. Yeah. But
I think that will be one thing about like everybody being kind of self-isolated is everybody's going to get back to doing what they love to do with like those kinds of things.
That you never had time to do, right?
Yeah. Just the simple stuff that gave you joy, right? That you kind of moved away from. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm so glad the weather's better now that we're able to get outside, because like I think we still have a reno going, but we're kind of trying to hit the weather, work outside when it's nice and then inside when it's not. So I still don't have a dining room table, people.
Soon.
It's sure pretty though. It's getting there. I'll put pictures up when it's finally done. Carmen says, my strength is that I have the ability to show you exactly how your outer world is being created by your inner world.
Oh,
Mm.
that's cool.
I can't wait
until
Thursday.
Yeah.
And that's what we need, Carmen. Totally.
Yeah.
We struggle so much with what's going on inside, right?
Yes.
And it can't help but ooze out. That's what I think, right?
That's why I think this motivational one is good, because it kind of gets us thinking about other things, right? Something positive.
Well, I think it's just like you gotta, like, especially today, like we're talking about your strengths and your uniqueness and what you have to offer and stuff. I just think that you have to feel like you're worthy enough to share that stuff. Like it's a worthy enough thing to share. And I feel like we do ourselves a disservice by not sharing those kind of things. So
yeah, well,
that's how I feel. I don't know if that's how most everybody feels, but and this being in business and being online and whatnot has very much opened my eyes to that. Like, I want everybody to do what we do.
Yeah, For
Like
sure.
I do. It's not because I'm like fixated on the money and the glamour and all this kind of thing. I just think that it's an awesome life. It's
And it helps so
it
many.
can have its issues for sure, but it's a fun,
Yeah.
challenging, and I can take my dog for a walk in the middle of the day. I mean, what's better than that, right?
Exactly.
When I'm like, okay, it's time to go and do something, I'll take my dog for a walk, where most people still have 4 hours to go at their office job or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's been a good thing for me. So I guess we're at the end here, eh?
Yeah. What are we talking about
That's the
tomorrow?
first show I think that I've ever had that like I've actually looked up and it's been already over. That's crazy.
I know. I know.
But anyways, I hope you guys get what we're saying today,
Yeah.
and
What are
share your talent, share your uniqueness any way that you can.
yeah.
It's so good to do that. So
So
anyways,
tomorrow.
tomorrow we have business tips. So we're going to talk about some different kinds of posts that you can do. And Carmen had asked a few questions about doing business on your personal page, so we're going to address that. And yeah, so we will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. We
Yep.
want you guys to have an awesome Monday.
Yes.
And get outside and get some sun if there's sun where you are.
Just fresh
I
air.
hope there is. Okay, we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Talk to you later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.